Hey everyone, it's Nicole from Nicole Loves. Welcome to the channel. For today's video, I have my favorite as well as my least favorite polishes coming from 2023. I feel like 2023 has been a very interesting year as far as nail polish goes. I mean, if you're into nail polish, it's been an interesting year. So I scrolled and scrolled and scrolled through my camera roll as well as my blog archive, trying to flesh out my list for what things that I like the most and what things I like the least from 2023. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, stay tuned. So if you are new around here, hi, my name is Nicole. Welcome to the channel. Thank you very much for clicking on today's video. Do consider hitting subscribe. I upload new videos every single week on Tuesdays and Saturdays, and I also go live on I go live on Sundays. If in fact you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. How are you doing? Just, itchy. How's everyone doing? I cannot believe we are towards the end of December. This year went by so ridiculously quickly, it's not even funny. And I feel like this month has just like zoomed on by. It's honestly ridiculous. This was a very, very quick year. As far as my favorite list goes, I have a mixture of indies, mainstreams, as well as some boutique polishes. Assuming the polishes are still available, I will have links in the description box to where you can purchase the polishes if they're still available. If there's nowhere to purchase the polish, then I'll have like a link to either my original review or blog post for you if you want to see more swatches. Unfortunately, because of the current indie nail polish landscape, a large chunk of indie nail polishes released are limited edition, unfortunately. But I do have a lot of things on this list that are like still like readily available and that you don't have to go like hunting through a D-stash to find them. I will also have links in the description box to some of my favorite places to look for, D-stash nail polishes at a fairly decent price. So the first polishes I want to talk about are by a brand called Barry M. This is not a brand that I am aware of that you can actually easily purchase in the United States. I was actually recommended these polishes from a subscriber, Volume P. Okay, I just did some digging to verify when these were released. These apparently were released last year, but I purchased them this year. They are all textured to be kind of like cotton candy, sugar floss kind of texture, which if you're wondering how the hell that works, it's very weird. I was originally going to do a review on these because these were like so freaking weird, but time and everything, I did not ever get a video up for them. I think these polishes might be the weirdest polishes that I've ever personally, actually no, because I did swatch those taco ones way back when. These are the strangest polishes that I swatched for the entire year. So there were 4 polishes total. The names are Bouquet, which is a pale pink, Cozy, which is a pale blue, Soft Lace, which is a white, and then Violet Cashmere, which is like a pale lilac. These have the weirdest texture in the world. Like very, very weird, and I absolutely love them. They were very, very cool. The application process for these polishes, if you've ever taken your nail polish off with like a cotton ball, and then you go to paint your nails and you still have like a piece of cotton fuzzy on your finger when you're applying your nail polish, you know that feeling? That's how these apply. That's how these feel. And it's such a weird, weird texture, but I absolutely loved it. Hi, Editing Nicole. I just wanted to share some more shots of these polishes because I forgot how much I love these until I was looking at the footage over again. Like, look, you can see all like the fibers just stuck into the polish, and it was such a weird texture, and I just loved it so much. Like, these are such cool polishes. But these were by far some of the coolest and strangest polishes that I swatched for the entire year. So these... Stormy's here. So I had purchased these from the Barry M website. It doesn't look like they're still available there, but I would imagine if Barry M is available in your country, you could get them. On the topic of Barry M, when I also purchased these 4 polishes, I also purchased a bunch of other textured polishes from the brand. I haven't gotten to wear all of them yet, but I put one on my thumb. They're really, really cool. I really wish Barry M was more easily available here in the States, honestly. Speaking of weird textured polishes that I tried this year, I forget when it was, but it was in a live stream where we were talking about like weird polishes, and I brought up that I recently purchased Essie. Is it Bulgaria? Bulgar? I don't know how to say it still. Like, I don't know how to say it. Here's a picture. This polish came up years ago. I believe it has been discontinued by Essie since its original release, but I purchased it this year. I found it on eBay. It's still readily available online. This is another textured polish. The texture is supposed to be kind of in the mind of like caviar. I feel like making a textured polish that looks like caviar was definitely an odd choice.
That's weird.
I almost always appreciate it when brands do something just a little bit odd, a little bit weird, just because I feel like the vast majority of nail polish that gets released isn't really like unique or terribly different from other things.
I said what I said!
But I feel like, as someone who owns over 4,000 bottles of nail polish, I feel like I can say that the vast majority of nail polish that gets released isn't really all that terribly different from previous things. I feel like every so often we get something that's really, really different, and I can't pinpoint anything that looks like it. And Essie Bulgaria? I don't know how to say it. Whatever that is a super unique and cool polish. So I put this one on initially a few months ago, and I put it back on again earlier this month to have like a swatch photo to talk about for this video. I wore it for like a day or two, and I noticed when I was wearing it, it felt very heavy on my fingers for some reason. Heavy enough that I decided to remove it because like it just felt very weird. Like it kind of reminded me of when you initially get like acrylic or like a really thick gel over your nails and you're trying to get used to like the weight difference because like it's a little bit too thick. But it was just a very weird sensation that my fingers just felt like a little bit painful. I don't know. I don't remember that happening last time I wore it, so like I don't know what that was about. This next polish is from Salon Perfect. Salon Perfect had a really, really cool year. I was trying to decide what specifically to put on my favorites list from Salon Perfect because their Flash Glitter Reflective collection, that was really, really fun. I feel like the Halloween collection was really cool, but I feel like out of the 3 collections that I purchased from Salon Perfect this year, although I also got them in PR too, just, you know, for disclosures and whatnot, I feel like the one that I liked the most, I feel like out of all the polishes I swatched from Salon Perfect this year, the standout one for me is going to be Chocolate Cartel from the Wonka collection. It is a chocolatey brown linear holograph. Is it the most linear holographic polish that I have in my collection?
No.
Is it still a really cool polish?
Yeah!
Chocolate Cartel is on my list for favorites, but I do want to give an honorable mention to all of the Salon Perfect collections that came out this year. The Flash Glitter Reflective one, the Halloween collection that I'm blanking on the name, and then also this Wonka collection. And I really, truly, 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 truly wish Salon Perfect did a better job at, I don't even know if this is Salon Perfect or like Walmart in particular. I feel like I have to fight a little bit to find the new Salon Perfect polishes in store, and I find that really, really frustrating. So yeah, I hope for the new year Salon Perfect does a little bit of a better job, you know, getting things in stock in stores. Speaking of mainstream brands, next up for my favorites is coming in hot with Zoya. Zoya released so many different glitter polishes this year. It seemed like the ones that stood out the most to me were released like in the fall and winter seasons. So on my list, I have Connor, Twinklet, Venus, Lennon, Jean, Amaris. Fantastic glitters. They did just release a gold glitter. I haven't swatched it. I'm planning on swatching it either tonight or tomorrow, and I haven't even put it on my fingers yet, and that's on the list as well. I mentioned this in my last Zoya review that Zoya has been doing these like colors of the month, and I hope for the new year they also do a better job at stocking those or making their wording a little bit more clear that the polishes are limited edition and only available until they sell out. Also on my list from OPI, this polish came out many, many years ago, but I only just got it this year, so it's on the list for that reason. This polish is called Jinx. It is a orangey red textured polish with like a gold shimmer. It is so damn beautiful. So I think either I purchased this from eBay or Mercari. I can't remember which one. If you couldn't tell from the previous 5 textured polishes, I really like textured polishes. There have been a lot of textures that have been released, but I feel like textures are in the camp where like it feels a little bit more unique. So I've been wearing a lot of textures this year. OPI had an interesting year as far as releases go. I feel like the Barbie collection as well as the fall collection were the coolest ones that they did. So I want to give an honorable mention to the polish OPI's I Can Certainly Shine from the fall collection. This was a linear holographic flaky kind of polish. Was it the most groundbreaking thing I've ever seen? No, it was not. That's why this is an honorable mention. On to something else that I did a review for. China Glaze's Halloween collection, I think, was probably was it my favorite one? I think the Halloween collection or maybe the Wonka collection were my favorite releases from China Glaze this year. From the Halloween collection in particular, we have Gold Hearted. This is not a gold polish. Don't be fooled by the name like I was. It's not gold. It's more of like a bronzy kind of color, but like it has a little bit of like a gold element to it that I really enjoyed. And I'll be honest, when I put this one on the list, it was largely because I wanted to include at least one polish that China Glaze actually released this year. Because I feel like my favorite China Glazes from this year were largely things that were released years ago. Speaking of which, on this list is China Glaze's Trendsetter. I wore this one as a manicure sometime in the fall, I think. I wore it with another polish that's on this list, which is the Nicole from Sweet and Sour Lacquer. Trendsetter is a prugly, yellowy, greenish color. It's the color that my husband loves to refer to as calf scour green. And just like I always say when I mention calf scour green, I do not recommend you looking that color up. Like, don't look up what calf scour is.
Don't do it. You'll regret it, man.
This will not be the last Dookie-inspired nail polish on this list, I'll tell you that. Trendsetter, I think this is a more hard-to-find China Glaze one. I think I originally got this one a few years ago in like a gigantic listing on eBay, because I do that on a regular basis if you aren't aware. In the bottle, Trendsetter has like a very faint shimmer, but I didn't recall seeing it on my nails. For the Nicole, that one is still technically available on the Sweet and Sour Lacquer website. I was just over there earlier today and it's currently out of stock. For things on the website that aren't in the final chances area, they will restock things as long as there's like customer interest. So if you want a bottle of the Nicole, which is one of my collaboration polishes with the brand, just, you know, reach out to them on social media or in the Facebook group and they can restock it as long as there is interest to do so. It is a really fun glitter topper. It has like 1,000 different chunky glitters in it, and I feel like each time I wear it, my nails look a little bit different just because there's so many different glitters in there. Also for China Glaze, this year I finally got a bottle of China Glaze's Cowboy Bye. In the photo I have, it is topped with a Cert Colors topper, which I think was XX. I just wore this on a whim one day and I put the topper over it, but China Glaze Cowboy Bye made it onto this because like I was after this one forever and it's super hard to find without having to spend like $30. Although technically I did spend $30 to get it, but I also got like 10 other polishes with it. So in my mind, I did not in fact pay $30 because I got 10 other polishes with it. It is 1000% worth the hype. 1000% worth the hype, but I wouldn't say spend $30 on it unless you're getting 10 other polishes with it. I've got two from Orly. I have Act of Folly and On a Whim. Act of Folly was in the fall collection and On a Whim was in the summer collection. These are both kind of prugly leaning shades. I feel like Act of Folly is a little bit more prugly than On a Whim, but they're both really nice. I like them a lot. I thought they were fun polishes. Both of those are still currently available as well. Another polish I wanted to mention, which was Orly's Off the Grid. This is like a bright, not cobalt blue, but that bright, fun summer blue that I absolutely love, and every time I see it, like, I need to have it. It's in that family of blues. It's bright, it's fun. It is kind of similar to Sally Hansen's Pacific Blue, but it's not a dupe for that, but it's in that same kind of color family. So that is it for the mainstreams. I have a couple of things from boutique brands, not a ton, but a couple of things that I wanted to mention. The first being is Mooncat's Heartstone. I don't know when that was originally released. I bought it during, I think two sales ago. This is a polish that I actually purchased before I started getting PR from the brand. It is a gray base with a pinky gold shimmer as well as holographic glitter. I didn't write down how many coats I used for my swatches. I think I did 3 coats on my swatch hand and then 2 coats on my Cindy hand. I feel like that's what I did. I think this one was originally released back when the brand had a little bit of issues with the website versus what people got in like true to life. Let me see what that looks like on the website. Oh, I guess it's no longer there. Oh, Heart of Stone. I wrote it down wrong. Okay, update. The polish is called Heart of Stone and it is still available on the website. This is just a really fun polish, but I also recognize gray plus pink and gold plus holographic equals an instant win for me personally. I really like a gray polish with a shimmer and holographic. Holo Taco released so very many polishes this year, and I feel like the polish that made it onto like my top list from the brand, I feel like people are gonna be like, Nicole, how? Why? And I'm just gonna be like, you know what? It's ugly. That's why.
That's my opinion!
So Not Pressed is gonna be my favorite polish that Holo Taco released from this year. I recognize picking out a creme polish from Holo Taco when I have loved so many of their releases this year. Like, I really feel like this was a fantastic year to be a Holo Taco fan. I think this was a fantastic year to like really enjoy the brand. Like, they released so many cool polishes, and I find it absolutely ironic that all year long all I kept saying is I really hope Holo Taco releases polishes that feature 1,000 different things in them. Like, I want a mixture of components, and then at the end of the year my favorite polish is the Prugly Green Creme.
Irony!
The reason why this one made it onto my list instead of all the other ones that I love is because this is the one that I went back to wear after I swatched it. So that's why it made it onto the list. Not only going back to put it on after I already swatched it, but putting it on both hands to me means that like I was absolutely in love. So yeah, that was a very short list for the boutiques I recognize, but you know,
My bad.
on to the indies. So for the indie nail polishes, a lot of these are going to be limited edition, therefore no longer available. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. That's just how indie polishes are these days. Since I talked a little bit about Sweet and Sour Lacquer earlier, I want to throw them back into the ring for things because Sweet and Sour Lacquer released so many cool polishes. This is one brand that I had a really hard time deciding what was going to be like the top tier of my favorites. So coming in strong, the first thing from Sweet and Sour Lacquer that I want to talk about is Sweet and Sour Lacquer Grape. This was part of the Rock Candy collection, but this was the polish that was exclusive to going to the Polish and Beauty Expo event in Chicago. If you don't know what Polish and Beauty Expo is, basically it is an expo for people who really like nail polish. It is hosted by KB Shimmer. It takes place in July over in Chicago. Tickets are currently on sale for it now if you want to go. I went last year. I'll have my vlog linked and down there if you want to see it. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I got to meet so many people who watch the channel. I got to meet so many of my friends, and it was just a really fun time to go. Like, I do highly recommend going. Just unfortunately for my budget, it's not in the cards. It's just not in the cards for next year. Seriously, Stormy? The entire Rock Candy collection was fantastic. All of them, it was just an entire polish of like sheer jelly bases with iridescent flakies, and each base had like a different color, and it made like a whole cute little rainbow. So I was commissioned by Sweet and Sour Lacquer to swatch these polishes. The Sweet and Sour Lacquer booth was one of the booths at PBE that like I made a beeline for. Like, I'm pretty sure that was the booth I made the first beeline for. Like, that was like on my top list of booths I had to go to. This collection is fantastic. The other polishes in this release are still available, but as I said, Grape is not. It was exclusive to PBE. If you can get a hold of this one in a D-stash, highly recommend it. So next up, I know this is kind of cheating, but not. I wanted to add the Sweet and Sour Lacquer Oh Shit collection as like also in my favorites. This collection was inspired by Duty. Who? Remember I said earlier there'd be some Duty inspired things? This is it. So this is a 6-piece collection. There are 5 doo-doo colored creams, all ranging in shades from you had a lot of charcoal in your system to you probably should go to a doctor. And it was just such a really fun collection, and all of the names are also hilarious. The names are listed here on the screen too because I think they're hysterical. The shining star of this collection is the glitter topper, which features smiley faces as well as little doo-doo glitters, like actual doo-doos that look like glitter.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
No, it's not actual. No, it's actual glitters that look like doo-doo. It's not. There's no doo-doo in the nail polish. There's no doo-doo. That one is called Shits and Giggles. So originally, I found out about this release from Darlene in one of the live streams. Darlene had mentioned the glitters as well as like having like a whole poop inspired thing. And as soon as like she said this, I knew immediately I was giving her my money to get those. And I bought those like the day they were released. The day they arrived, I put the polishes on both hands. I did a skittle on both hands and I absolutely loved it. The last polish I want to mention from Sweet and Sour Lacquer is I'm Only Happy When It Rains. This one was originally released in PPU in March 2023. This one was inspired by the Garbage song I'm Only Happy When It Rains, and it is a neon yellowy green. It's like the highlighter neon yellow. It's like a little bit green, crelly with glitters and everything. This one is also black like reactive. I think I showed that in my review video for this one. I think I did. Another brand that I absolutely love their glitter crellies from is Crystal Knockout. Crystal Knockout gave so many cool glitter polishes this year. I did receive this one in PR as well. This one is called You're the Star. This was originally released in the Breast Cancer Awareness box, which is a yearly collaboration that happens every September, I believe. And a portion of the proceeds of that box always go to the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. So anywho, so You're the Star is a neon pink crelly base with a whole bunch of blue and purple glitters. There are also star glitters in there. If you want a brand where you're not going to have to do any kind of fishing for glitters, Sweet and Sour Lacquer and Crystal Knockout are the brands for you if you want some chunkier glitters. I don't think Crystal Knockout releases too much on their website, but they do participate in polish pickup as well as Halahime Creations. Speaking of chunky unky glitters, I tried a new to me brand earlier this year called Familiar Polish. I can't remember where I first saw them. Either someone sent me a post on Instagram or someone mentioned it in my Discord group. This brand has a lot of really fun polishes. The polishes that particularly made the list for me this year are some neon glitter crellies that have like black shred glitters. If you've been around the nail polish space for a while, you might remember when 90 released the Smoothie Bar collection, which was like a whole bunch of pastel neons with like these big old honkin' black glitter shreds. These polishes from Familiar Polish are just like the 90 ones, except instead of pastel neons, they are just like full on in your face neons. I wore these as a skittle. I think this is a brand that I'll definitely be keeping an eye on in the new year. Speaking of black glitter shreds, Night Owl Lacquer's The Hauntening also made it onto the list. This is something that I did receive in PR as well. Is this the most unique polish I own? No, it is not. I think this is also pretty comparable to a polish Night Owl Lacquer released a few years ago in PPU that I remember. I think it's called Just a Girl.
Editing Nicole here. Turns out it's not nearly as similar as I was remembering. So here's the Hauntening on the right, and then on the left we have Just a Girl. So yeah, they're both white bases with black shreds, but as you can see, Just a Girl has a ton of different glitters in it that the Hauntening does not have.
But this made it onto my list because it did something to me. I don't know what it is about these black glitter shreds. Like they definitely need a lot of top coat to smooth out. But whenever I have them in a crelly or a jelly base, they just make my heart insanely happy. I feel like black glitter shreds and black metallic flakies, like added to a polish, I love it a lot. Like I don't know why, but I love it a lot. One of my favorite things that Night Owl Lacquer does is doing a polish that's in a clear base with reflective glitter and flakies. There is just some kind of magic that happens in Lindsay's workshop. When she combines those components together, magic happens, and I absolutely love every single one. I'll be popping pictures up in the corner because I can't even remember all the ones that Lindsay has done this year. They're just all fantastic. There are definitely a couple of them still available on the website, and I'm going to have them right here, which ones are currently on the website, which I highly recommend. I didn't write down all of them. The notes literally just say all of the clear reflective glitter and flaky polishes. That's all the help I gave myself. Final polish I have from Night Owl Lacquer I want to mention is Hope is Powerful. This one also came from the Breast Cancer Awareness box of this year, so I did also receive this one in PR. This one is a pinkish shimmer that shifts to like a gold, and there's also holographic glitter in here as well. I was very tempted for this one to get a backup. Next, another brand that released a whole lot of things this year is Bee's Knees Lacquer. These are both in the Fall of the House of Usher collection, and I have Still No Fucking Excuse and Lemon. I absolutely love these two polishes. I feel like in the Bee's Knees archive, there are definitely things that they have released that are somewhat similar to these, but these two, like, I love them. I love them so much, and I had to keep putting them on the list. And the things from Bee's Knees were all sent to me as like commissioned work to post about and all that. So just for some more disclosures. I know I mentioned at the beginning of the video that I'd also share some of my least favorite things that came out this year. My absolute least favorite release from this year was OPI's summer collection. I have swatched hundreds, if not thousands, of nail polishes the past 4 years of having Nicole, well, I'm going on 4 years of having Nicole Loves Nails. It is far and few between that I have the experience where I am swatching a nail polish and it's making me feel like I don't know how to paint my nails. And OPI's summer collection made me feel like I did not in fact know how to paint my nails over and over and over. Like, the color story on it is fantastic. I know some people really like the release, but I know I'm not the only one who just like was putting those on and was just like, oh hell no. Like, it was just not good. It was just not good. I could not do it. I just could not do it. I don't have a ton of things, honestly, to make it onto the least favorites. It's like the OPI collection, as I feel like also all of the NFT inspired releases, particularly Essie's and OPI's, also will make it onto my least favorites list. Although, now that I'm here thinking on it, I think my absolute least favorite thing that's happened for nail polish this year was the resurgence of pearlescent polishes.
That's right, I said it!
Listen, you can like what you want to like, but like, I will forever just talk shit about pearlescents. I'm not a fan. They're not for me. And I know, like, me with like my chunky glitters and my crackle polish love and heart, and I know that that's a lot, especially when I know that my favorite polish finishes are things that a lot of people don't like, but I don't like what I don't like. What do you want me to say? One final thing that I want to mention that I really enjoyed this year, I feel like 2023, for me personally, was the year of crackle nail polishes coming back. I wore so many different crackle manicures this year, and I absolutely love the finish. I purchased more crackle polishes this year than I have purchased in like my entire nail polish buying like existence. And I'm really hoping that indie and boutique brands will release more crackles next year. Like Holo will release one this year. Rogue Lacquer released one for Black Friday of this year. I think that's still on their website too, by the way. And I just listen, I love crackles, and I just hope we get more crackles coming out. I really hope so. That is it for me for my favorite and least favorite polishes of the year. I would love to know what everyone else's favorite polishes were for the year. I'm a nosy girl, so I would just love to know what everyone's like favorite polishes were for the year. Before we end today's video, I want to give a very special shout out to my channel members, Shenanigang! Just thank you guys so very much. You guys are absolutely amazing. When this video goes live, I saw you all yesterday, but thank you for joining me for the channel members live stream. If you'd like to sign up for my channel memberships, I have a link for that down in the description box. But, you know, as always, please do not feel pressured to sign up for channel memberships. Just, you know, like the video, comment, share, subscribe, all the things, and we are good. But if you would like to sign up for my memberships, there's a link in the description box. And just thank you all so very much for an amazing 2023. 2023 was a really great year for me, like, as a YouTuber, as a person in general. There were so many amazing things that happened this year, and I'm really glad that I was able to share some of them with you. If you missed the little announcement video, I changed the channel name from Nicole Loves Nails to Nicole Loves, and that is to reflect the change in content. In case you didn't notice, there's been a lot of non-nail polish content popping up over here, and it will continue to be that way for the new year. I hope you all will join me. I still will have nail polish content up. Don't freak out and unsubscribe on me, people. There still will be some nail polish content, just not as much, and a little bit more non-nail polish stuff, just, you know. But of course, I still do post every Tuesday and Saturday and go live on Sunday. So just thank you all very much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a fantastic week, and I'll see you in the next one.